You've heard the story 1,000 times. Someone wins the lottery, blows every penny, ends up worse off than before. The internet loves it. Headlines scream it. The lottery curse is real. But what if that story is mostly a myth? And what if the tiny slice where it is true comes down to one single catastrophic mistake? That's exactly what we're digging into today. Let's start with the stat that launched 1,000 panic articles. A widely cited claim, falsely attributed to the National Endowment for Financial Education, says 70% of windfall recipients lose it within a few years. In January 2018, NEF set the record straight. That statistic was not backed by any of their research. It was just made up, repeated until it became gospel. The lottery curse? Built on absolutely nothing. So what does real data say? A National Bureau of Economic Research study examined over 3,000 Swedish lottery winners who scored at least $100,000, surveying them 5 to 22 years later. Co-author and NYU economics professor Dr. Daniel Cesarini said he doesn't believe results would differ significantly for Americans winning multi-million-dollar prizes. The finding? Winners of up to $2 million retained their wealth well over a decade later. Not broke, not cursed, still wealthy. A 2020 Stockholm University study of 3,000 lottery winners reached a similar conclusion. Winners experience sustained increases in life satisfaction, with effects persisting over a decade and showing no sign of fading. The data is clear. Most winners are fine. More than fine. So why does every barbershop and Reddit thread insist the curse is real? Because the winners who crash do it loudly, publicly, and spectacularly, and we can't look away. Here's where it gets interesting. Look at winners who went broke, and a pattern jumps out immediately. Alex Toth was a Florida golf course groundskeeper, living modestly before winning $13 million in 1990. Afterward, multiple homes, expensive cars, impulsive purchases, no income. By the late 90s, broke. Sharon Tirabassi won $10.5 million in the Canadian Lotto Super 7. She'd grown up bouncing between shelters and had just taken herself off welfare when she hit the jackpot. She spent it on a big house, fancy cars, designer clothes, lavish parties, exotic trips, and loans to friends. She ended up back on the bus, working part-time, renting a house. See the thread? It's not the money, it's the identity. These weren't people who built wealth, they were people who tried to perform it. Here's a question for you. If you woke up tomorrow with $10 million, would you try to live like a celebrity or just like a smarter version of yourself? Comment your answer below, because that instinct might be the difference between keeping the money and losing everything. Psychologists call it social identity spending. Buying not what you need, but what the version of yourself you think you're supposed to be would buy. Research confirms it. Winners with above-median pre-win earnings retained wealth far better than lower earners, who saw nearly complete erosion within 5 years. In plain English, if you've never managed serious money, suddenly having it doesn't make you someone who can. It just makes the crash louder. Billie Bob Harrell Jr. won $31 million in the 1997 Texas Lotto. He quit his Home Depot job, bought homes and cars, handed cash to anyone who asked, bought turkey dinners for hundreds of families at Christmas. He was playing a role he'd never rehearsed. Shortly before his death, he told a financial advisor, "Winning the lottery is the worst thing that ever happened to me." On May 22, 1999, less than 2 years after his win, he took his own life. Now compare that to Tim Schultz. 21 years old, gas station attendant, won $28 million in the 1999 Powerball. Before he even had the check, he was sitting with financial advisors, asking what he could afford to spend and give away. He didn't try to become a different person. He became a better resourced version of who he already was. He's still wealthy today. The lottery curse isn't a curse. It's a costume, one that looks incredible for about 18 months, then starts costing more than the prize was ever worth. Winners who survive don't dress up as someone they were never built to be. They take the money, stay grounded, and let the numbers work quietly in the background. So next time someone says the lottery ruins lives, ask them to show their data. The money isn't the problem. The identity crisis that follows is. If this was eye-opening, subscribe, because we're just getting started pulling apart the myths everyone assumes are facts.